Hello everyone. I hope you are doing well. I am here to make you confident. My goal is to help you realize who you are and what you can achieve. Let's start with our today's story. Story of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, a name synonymous with non-violence, truth, and the power of peaceful resistance, is one of the most inspiring figures in history. His story is a remarkable journey from a young boy in a small town to becoming the leader who would shape the destiny of a nation, not through the sword, but through compassion, humility, and an unyielding belief in the power of peaceful protest. Born on October 2, 1869, in Porbandar, Gujarat, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was raised in a deeply religious and culturally rich environment. His father was a prominent official, and his mother was a devout follower of Jainism, which instilled in Gandhi early lessons of non-violence, ahimsa, and truth, satya. From an early age, he was deeply influenced by these principles, even though he didn't fully grasp their power or significance at the time. As a young boy, Gandhi was not a standout student. He was shy and insecure, often afraid to speak in front of others. However, it was during his school years that he began to experience the power of his values. At the age of 13, Gandhi was married to Kastabai, a decision that was common in his time, but one that would shape his personal life and struggles in ways he never imagined. Despite the limitations that were often placed on him as a young man in colonial India, Gandhi always found ways to reflect deeply on the world around him. After completing his studies in India, Gandhi went to London to pursue law at University College London. It was there that he encountered Western ideas about freedom, justice, and human rights, but it was also during this time that he began questioning the colonial subjugation of his homeland. He struggled with his own identity, torn between the traditions of his homeland and the influences of the British system, but he soon began to understand that his true calling lay in fighting the oppression of his people. In 1893, Gandhi's journey took a defining turn when he was invited to South Africa to work as a lawyer. It was in South Africa that he first encountered the brutal racism and discrimination that would fuel his passion for justice. Gandhi, a man who had always believed in the concept of ahimsa, found himself fighting for the basic rights of Indian laborers who were being mistreated by the British colonial rulers. It was in South Africa that Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance, known as satyagraha, was born. Gandhi's method of nonviolent resistance was revolutionary. He understood that the true strength of a person lay not in physical power or violence but in the courage to stand up for what is right, without harming others. He led peaceful protests, and when met with violence, he would encourage his followers to remain peaceful, a stance that would become the hallmark of his leadership. His movement was not about defeating the British, it was about awakening the moral conscience of his people and of the world. In 1915, Gandhi returned to India, and he quickly became the leader of the Indian independence movement. He advocated for self-reliance, urging his people to boycott British goods and institutions. His call for the use of khadi, homespun cloth, became a symbol of self-sufficiency and resistance to British exploitation. Gandhi's leadership was not based on traditional politics, instead, it was grounded in ethics, spirituality, and a deep connection to the masses. One of the defining moments of Gandhi's leadership came in 1930 with the Salt March. Gandhi led a 240-mile journey to the coastal town of Dandi, where he and thousands of followers defied the British salt tax by making their own salt from the sea. This act of defiance against British colonial laws became a worldwide symbol of nonviolent protest. Gandhi's movement was not about taking up arms against the British, it was about disarming the very idea of imperialism with the strength of unity, discipline, and truth. Gandhi's influence spread far beyond the borders of India. His commitment to nonviolence and his belief in the moral power of the individual inspired leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and countless others who fought for freedom and justice around the world. His philosophy was simple yet profound: be the change you wish to see in the world. But Gandhi's journey was not without hardship. He was arrested numerous times, faced betrayal from both British authorities and political allies, and endured immense personal loss. Yet, through it all, he remained steadfast in his belief that the ultimate victory would not be in the defeat of the British, but in the spiritual awakening of his people. On August 15, 1947, after decades of struggle, India finally gained independence. The joy of freedom, however, was marred by the partition of the country, which led to widespread violence and communal strife. Gandhi, devastated by the bloodshed, worked tirelessly to bring about peace between Hindus and Muslims. He fasted for peace, showing the world that the fight for freedom was not over. The fight for unity and love between people was just as important. Sadly, on January 30, 1948, Mahatma Gandhi's life was tragically cut short when he was assassinated by Nathuram Godse, a Hindu nationalist. The world mourned the loss of a man whose life had embodied the deepest values of humanity. Yet, Gandhi's legacy endured, for he had shown the world that true power lies in truth, love, and nonviolence. Today, Gandhi's teachings continue to inspire millions around the globe. His life is a reminder that the greatest change can come from the most peaceful of acts, that one person's courage can lead to the transformation of a nation, and that the path to true freedom is not found in violence or hatred, but in compassion, self-discipline, and respect for others. Mahatma Gandhi's journey was not just the story of a man who led a nation to independence, it was the story of a soul who inspired generations to come, teaching us that no matter how great the challenge, nonviolence and truth will always light the way.